I'm Corbett Wall with DV Auction, here with your feeder flash for Wednesday, March the 8th, brought to you in part by Livestock Risk Services. That's Dakota Moss right there, officing at the Exchange Building at the Oklahoma National Stockyards in Oklahoma City. They're the LRP specialists, guys. They do it every day, all day long, and you need to look at some of these strike prices if you're turning cattle out this spring, and they're very handsome out there. You can lock the price in on some yearlings coming off grass late this summer or early this fall at about $214, and that's going to cost you less than $5 a hundred to do that. It's a no-brainer. You got to do it, guys. These prices are too high. You don't want to miss out, and it's too much. You know, they can hurt somebody and hurt your profit margin or your potential there. If you've got spring-born calves you're going to sell this fall, you can lock them in at more than $2.30 a pound. Going to cost you a little bit more per hundred there, but still you get the government to kick in there and help you from 35 to 55% of that premium, and you got to do it. But check out Livestock Risk Services. Salebarn roofs were blown off on Tuesday, you know, and we keep thinking that it can't keep happening, but we know this market's going to get better. But it still impresses us when we see these prices. And it wasn't just on the feeder cattle; it was the fat cattle. Yankton, South Dakota had a smoker on their fat cattle auction that they had on Tuesday. I'm going to give you the results of that, and they're very, very impressive. Sale barns all over the country impressive, even in the southeast, places where you normally don't see stick out top quotes. So I'm going to give you some from there. But your futures kind of pulled back a little bit on Tuesday, and they've been doing this through this rally here. Even though the futures are kind of dragging along here, they've been going up on a Monday, which is good, and that's indicative of an up market. But then on Tuesdays backing off a little bit, and they don't pay any attention to any cash prices, of course not sale barn prices. That's price discovery. They don't understand that, but you know, we expect them to kind of come back and continue to go higher there. Stock market was down big, and that probably hurt as much as anything, down nearly 600 points as the Fed come out again after 8 times of raising interest rates to try to cool down this inflation that's run rampant. They're saying now they're going to go up another half point. We were thinking it was going to be less than that. They think they've got to really crank these interest rates up, and that's about the only way that you can get it to calm down. This inflation is just taken off, and really that's the only way you can get it to come down. But we hate to see the interest rates going up. The interest is starting to play a big role on your investment in cattle here as it's getting higher all the time. Coming to you from beautiful downtown Maysville, Missouri, my former hometown, from the Tracy Taylor building, and glad to be here, and they are nice enough to let me use this office here to do my reports. But let's talk about your board for Tuesday. April live cattle futures down 12 cents at 165.97, and that's still a premium to what last week's weighted average was in your 5-area feeding region. But then it drops off. June down 45 cents, closing at 160.55. Do we really think that the fat cattle market's going to back off that much? That's what the futures think. If you guys are bullish, you can get in and help prop it up a little bit. Your back months on April live cattle, not just April, but your back months down 37 to up 22, so kind of a mixed bag there. March feeder cattle up a nickel after being up big on Monday, 190.212. April up 7 cents at 198.67. Your back months were up a lot more, up 67 to up 95 cents. Corn was cheaper. March corn down 2.5 cents at 6.42 at the end of regular trading. December new crop down 3 cents at 5.67. Your March beans down 15.75 cents. Got a big crop report, supply and demand coming out on Wednesday morning. But beans ended regular trading at 15.25 Fat cattle trade, nothing to speak of. Had a couple loads there in Iowa. They must have been filthy. Bring 162, and they had them ranked up in the highest grading class. So be the only reason that they'd sell cattle like that. But brick and mortar sale barn fat cattle auction Stockman's Livestock in Yankton, South Dakota. I'll tell you what, Greg Reichen has got that sale. I mean, blowing smoke out of both stacks, and really a good indicator of the market earlier in the week. He's got major packers in there buying on a Tuesday. He's got your regional packers, of course, in there supporting the market on a Tuesday. At 2,500 head, a little bit lighter run than maybe typical, but you know, supplies are tight. The conventional cattle, just a straight cattle, bring from 164 to 172 and a quarter. That'd be $2 to $6 higher than last week. Your program cattle, drug-free or non-implanted, sell from 170 to 174 and a quarter. That'd be $3 to $5 higher. You look, it's not just your small little bunches that are bringing it. It's big strings of cattle that are bringing a top price. And the top end of that price on those program cattle would be higher than the all-time record high price that was established back in 2014. Of course, we rely on that to be on a direct basis and established negotiated price. But I think we're going to get there here pretty quick. Box beef cutout values still at near all-time highs for this time of year. They were mixed, and choices down quite a bit, down 227 on Tuesday afternoon at 287.93. Selects were up $1.02 at 277.49, narrowing that choice select spread again, and we don't expect that when we're getting ready for grills to come out, guys. Your slaughter keeping right up and ahead of last week and a year ago at 252,000 through the first 2 days of this week, 2,000 more than last week at this time, and 6,000 more than the same week a year ago. Going to these bull sales this time of year, and you're picking out some sires for your cows, check out Limousine and Limflex. They are focusing on feed efficiency, improved marbling, superior yield grade, which they've always had, and calving ease. Let Limousine and Limflex take you full circle. Go to NALF.org. Talk about your feeder cattle market, your real-time index on DV auction. On Tuesday afternoon, sitting at 189.66 based on an 800-pound cash auction steer up through the middle 12 states. That's up another 95 cents, guys. It's just a runaway right now. I want to give you a little peek at DV Auctions production sale report. You know that selling bull sales are offering them online. We do about 1,500 of them a year on site, taking bids online for all these different purebred breeders and replacement guys that handle replacement stock there. But we've had a lot of them in February. March will be our biggest month. About every weekend through March we'll be having 50 to 60 sales on the weekend, and then multiple sales every day through the week also. But during February, just on our online console in our production sales, over 36,000 bids came in for those cattle. Almost 6,200 lots sold online, and over $33.5 million in sales. If you've got a bull sale and you don't have DV Auction doing it, you're missing out, guys. We have got a huge log of reputable, known buyers that get on there and shop every day this time of year, and you've got to get your sale offered on DV Auction. Let's talk about your big feeder cattle auctions on Tuesday. Of course, Ozarks Regional Stockyard in West Plains, Missouri, 3,200 head through the ring, another 800 plus on their in-house video that they do with help from DV Auction there. Have a big sale on there every week. But your calves and stockers sell from $6 to $12 higher. Spots as much as $18 higher. You think that's not a runaway? Roof getting loose there in West Plains also. Not enough yearlings to really test the market. They sold a big string of 5-weight steers, stalker type steers. They were colored up quite a bit, kind of a mixed bag. Of course, the last couple drags through the ring, they have those mostly black. That's your money ring right there. But I was talking to Dan Hill, former co-worker there that reports the market, and he says normally they make yearlings out of those. Never seen them sell this early. I'm not sure if he just wanted to seize the market or maybe he was out of feed. But 277 head of 561-pound steers, mixed colored, bring 241 West Plains, Missouri. Your Zoetta stick out sale of the day, Kimball Livestock Exchange in Kimball, South Dakota. 3,900 plus feeders there at their sale on Tuesday. Look at your best tested weights, and they were pretty well bunched up in the yearlings. 667 head of 7 weights. They were probably calves, but they're chronologically yearlings. They're a year old. They may not have been weaned and away from their mothers long enough to consider them yearlings, but 766 head of steers there bring 206 on the average. 1,026 head of 8-weight steers in Kimball, South Dakota averaged 851 pounds with a weighted average price on over 1,000 of them, guys, of $196.24. Wow. How about your heifers? 1,000 of those 7-weight heifers averaged 749 pounds. Weighted average price on those feeder heifers, $186.48. Give you some individual quotes. Cattleman's Livestock Auction in Harrison, Arkansas. DV auction customer there. You don't expect big long strings. Don't expect these kinds of prices, but my gosh, 138 head, 697 pound steers bring $195 through the ring in Harrison, Arkansas. Unionville Livestock Market in Unionville, Missouri. That's extreme north central Missouri. They typically sell the Rockin' R Farm backgrounded steers there, and I tell you about them, and it's a good way to kind of gauge the market. Lucerne, Missouri, they know how to background them. The buyers know that, and they still leave some good to them. They sell 5 loads of backgrounded steers. Average on the 5 loads was 870 pounds with an average price of $196.25. Wow. But your Mackerson, no BS, top quote for the day, indeed come out of Kimball Livestock Exchange in Kimball, South Dakota. It was 108 steers, weighed 830 pounds at $202.25. And that's your feeder flash for Wednesday.